So when we're talking about our sphere of influence, what we want to do is we want to set it up so that when we put somebody in, customers, clients, sphere of influence, family, friends, anybody that knows you, likes you, and want to see you be successful, you want to put them into a system, right? KV core being ours. When you put them in, there should be something of value going to them. There should be something of value going to them on a weekly basis for 8 weeks. Once a week for 8 weeks. Right, and that's what we want to use when you first meet. If you first meet them at HEB, for example, and you get their contact information, you're going to follow up with them, and follow up is the key. Alex mentioned that last week. Jeanette had told him about that. Had mentioned that to him. That's one of the key things in this business, and I can tell you that that's probably one of the biggest areas agents fail at is the follow up when it comes to your sphere of influence or your customers and clients. But you put them in the system, and they should get something once a week for 8 weeks. It's called the 8x8, and you can Google it. You can see it in other places. It's mentioned in several books. It's mentioned in Remax momentum training. 8x8 is really important. What you're trying to do is establish yourself as top of mind, right? You want them to remember who you are, and that starts right at the very beginning. 8x8. And Eric, Alex put a chat, something in the chat for you about the campaigns as well. And we want to work with that. So once we go from 8 to 8, 8x8, once a week for 8 weeks, once we've done that, then we want to move into the 33 touch. And again, that's within Momentum program as well. When we talk about the 33 touch, what you're doing is you're marketing wise, you're touching everybody in your system 33 times throughout the course of the year. And we can talk about the 33 ways of doing that, but we're going to say that aspect of it for another time. What I would like to do is throw out that when we talk about 33 times, it's not that complicated. You have birthdays, you have anniversaries, you have holidays, you have your monthly newsletter. A monthly newsletter, just a monthly newsletter, that's 12 times, right? And we've talked about using, you can use whatever you want, but there's newsletters within KV Core. There's newsletters that, like I've shown in the past, we use the Old Republic, ORHP.com. We use those for ourselves. But just the newsletter is 12 times. You've reached out and you made contact with them throughout that year. And remember, the number there is 33 times. You want to reach them 33 times. So you plan out how you're going to do that. Anybody have any questions or comments there?
Yes, Mac.
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
I'm driving. I love All Republic reminds you, like every time, obviously, because you subscribe them to the warranty. So it reminds you of the anniversary, which is pretty good. You can just copy and paste and send it to them. So that's why I love to use them. Just wanted to add that.
Awesome. You're absolutely right. That is a good point. And so we're talking about the anniversary of when they purchased the home, when the warranty went into play. But they also, if anything goes wrong, and they actually have to service an item like the AC, for example, they also notify you of that to let you know that that's a perfect time to reach out as well. Now, that's not a scheduled reach out, but it gives you an opportunity to reach out to them, say, hey, I understand this happened. Everything's okay now, right? And move forward with that. So we want to stay in touch with them. 33 times can be put on the schedule, though, and that's a key part to it. The 33 touches should be put on a schedule so that you know when you're going to do this and make it work for you. So every time somebody goes in 8x8, once they get out of that, they go into the 33 touch and we move from there. Anybody have any other questions or comments there? All right, so here's where the ideas come in. On the schedule, I put on there getting ready for the end of the year. Your sphere of influence, you're working the end of the year. Coming into, or we're in September, but we have October, November, December. We have a lot of holidays, different events going on. So I'm going to just start. And if you have anything to add to this, please do. Halloween's coming up, right? October, we have Halloween. What do you have planned for that? What do you as an agent have planned for that time of the year for Halloween? Anybody?
I was gonna hand out treats with my card on them to the parents.
Okay. Treats with a card. Are you doing that, Amber, if you don't mind, are you gonna be doing that in the Corpus area as an office, or are you just doing that individually?
Well, there's a big neighborhood my sister lives in. There's like hundreds of parents and kids that go every year. So I'm just gonna sit outside with a costume on with them and, hand out candy and hang out.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. And Ruby put in the chat that she's hosting a spooky market over in Mission. Cool. And the trunk for treat or trunk or treat. Carla, can you talk about that for just a second, or?
There we go. Okay, yes. So there are some businesses you can check wherever Mission, any town, they're going to have one that will be open to businesses to put up a trunk or treat. So, for example, Poor Station here in Harlingen had one last year. And what I was going to do is set up my truck and kind of do it like a haunted house, but it's like an open house. So, an open house, haunted house. And then I'll just be handing out treats and my information and whatnot.
Love it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And that's the reason I asked you to elaborate, and same thing with Amber. The reason I was asking for specifics is I know in Corpus, Nina and them have done the trunk or treat in a parking lot in one of the business parking lots up there. And I thought that might have been what you're getting at. So, and that works. You can organize that. You can actually organize that. You can set that up, not just for yourself, but for other businesses, right? And then make sure your sphere of influence knows about it. Make sure they come out for that. And anything where you're touching base with the kids is going to be beneficial for the parents in the long run as well. Fall festival, Alejandra, what is that about?
It's there's gonna be a fall festival at Aquatots and it's like for the community, like everyone's invited, it's free, and they have different vendors and they do different activities. So they invited me to go and set up a booth there. So it's good because a lot of kids go and they have like a costume contest, and obviously, well, there's a lot of parents there also. So it's fun. So I'm gonna be one of the, I guess, vendors there.
Awesome. Thanks. So yeah, I see that note you threw in the chat as well for Oinktoberfest, which is what the board is running. Appreciate you sharing that. The idea here in doing this today is to so that we can plan out what needs to happen, right? What do you want to do? And for some of us coming into the business, we may not have that background where we do things like this. And that's what we're trying to pull out of this, make this work. Joe, you said the trunk or treat at Corpus Animal Care Center. That works?
Yeah.
And what do you?
I did that last year.
Go ahead.
I did that last year too. It's with the Girl Scouts as well, since I'm a Girl Scout troop leader. So I have that involved as well as part of our community beyond just being a realtor, but my card is always there in the treats.
Awesome. It's good. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. So once again, there's a variety of ways of doing this and making it work for you. Soliciting for that help. Yes. So you want to jump in and talk about that real quick?
Yes, so with the Oinktoberfest, it's open to affiliates. We're recruiting up to 20. It's a limited space because of the booth size, but we have 20 spots for affiliates, members that want to kind of put their name out there. And so I volunteered to set up a Remax booth. And so we're going to have a fun competition who has the best booth. And also at the same time, we're going to have a family game. So Oinktoberfest is going to be huge. We're going to have carnival rides. We're gonna have the animal petting zoo, and then we're gonna have 20 affiliates running games like carnival style on each one. And so this is a great opportunity for everybody, you know, to bring their family members and also invite your clients that you already have and show them the scale of business that you're running. And so it's just going to be a standard Remax. It's not going to be like Ceci's booth, right? It's just our brokerage booth. So anybody that wants to participate, please let me know so we can kind of coordinate and put a game plan together.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And that business, that Oinktoberfest has grown over the years. The first time was pretty sad. The first, just like most things when you do it the first time, and it's grown to where it's going to get quite a few people out there. It's a great opportunity for exposure. Great opportunity. Not just
I won the
for you.
iPad last year.
Say again. What was that?
Sorry, I won the iPad last year, so
Oh, you won an
Guys, go.
iPad last year?
you can wait something. Yes, on the Oktoberfest. And it's pretty good. You can also sign up to be like one of those food testers of I don't know, the barbecue and all of that. So I know Duncan and Gustavo and myself were there eating, trying all this food. So it was fun. Try
Awesome,
to make
thanks.
it.
Yeah, the Oinktoberfest is in McAllen. It's at the Board of Realtors at GMAR at Greater McAllen Association on Nolana is where it's at, and it's on the 21st of October. It's a barbecue. Which is where that came from, the Oink portion of it. It's a barbecue and an opportunity to mix and mingle, not only with other agents, and there will be certainly be other agents there, but also the public. When we first started, it was designed in just my opinion, it was designed more for us, and then we started opening it up and making some changes to it, which is really good. Super fun last year. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that. All right. So the other thing on Halloween, we're talking about Halloween. We've done some of the things, we've covered some of the things that we could actually do with it. And it's important to understand that every opportunity we get as an agent, we need to jump on that. And every holiday coming into the end of the year gives us that opportunity. And Halloween is just one of those, however you want to market that or use it. I've shared in some of the training years ago, I did a word find, just a simple word find. You can go online and find a program that does that, or if you need help with it, let me know. But just a simple word find, and I used Halloween for it. It was this was in 2001 up in Austin. And when I talk about word find, I'm talking about where you find the word in there and you circle it, and you have a list of them at the bottom, that kind of thing. And I use that as a trifold mailer, and I mailed it out to a subdivision. And I share that with you because in my mind, it's just another way of marketing yourself, right? Because on the bottom of it, you have your personal information, your contact information, etc. And by the way, anytime you're advertising, remember you have to use the brokerage has to be tied into that, please. But anyway, it was a trifold, and I mailed it out, and actually I had somebody call and complain about celebrating the devil, and you're going to get that. You're going to get people that's going to, no matter what you do, there's going to be somebody complain about it. And most of you that's been in the business a while know that no matter what you do, there's going to be something out there. But that's okay. It's just a part of it. It's like that in any business, in my opinion. But so there's some ideas there. What about Thanksgiving? Anybody doing anything special for Thanksgiving? And I'm not talking about going out of town. Any special marketing for Thanksgiving? Anyone?
I always do. I'm thankful for clients like you because Christmas is often very saturated as far as mailers and things like that. So I send out, I'm thankful for clients like you, and it depends. I do different things to what my creativity suggests, but if it's local, I try to drop something off, Popeyes, whatever,
Right.
To be reminded that I appreciate their business and their referrals.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that, man. Anybody else? Just back to school rally and pass out pencils, pouches, supplies, Remax keychain and decal. Cool. Love that. Donut and coffee cart at your old school. Awesome. Good deal. So when we are talking about the holidays like Thanksgiving, for example, and what Joe mentioned as far as the Christmas time period being saturated, it is, and you might make adjustments in some of your marketing. Again, it depends on you and what your plan is, where you're working from. For example, the Christmas time period. In fact, some of you have seen it. We even it doesn't tie in with the end of the year, but we had even done something for Valentine's Day where we had heart-shaped cakes made and delivered to some of the sphere of influence. But what I'm getting at is we narrow that down. So not everybody at Christmas, for example, not everybody would necessarily be touched with a marketing piece. What we do is we narrow it down to the top 50. The top 50 out of what you have. That's the ones you talk to the most, the ones that are really supportive and trying to help with everything. So during the holidays, during Christmas especially, or that's what we did on Valentine's too as well. Just cakes for the top 50, that kind of thing, to make it more manageable, number one. And two, these are the ones you have the best relationship with, right? Just like family, they're the ones you have well, maybe not family, but anyway, you understand what I'm talking about. Hope. In the chat, we have St. Patrick's Day. Cool. Scratch off. Yes. So when we're talking about the holidays, when you say scratch offs, that mean they have Christmas lotto tickets, which is a awesome way. It's something different, right? And I've joked around about that. We sent some out with a newsletter one time, and an individual called and said, "Hey, I lost on the lotto ticket. Can you send me another one?" So we've accomplished the mission, because the whole job there is to get them to talk to us, or make that connection with them, right? So they receive the newsletter. We know that. Scratch the lotto ticket didn't win, but they also made a phone call to us to let us know, jokingly, that they wanted another one, right? So it gives you a chance to talk to them. And that's what all this is about, is staying in touch. And that's what that 33 touch is about. 33 times throughout the year, you're supposed to touch everybody in your database, right? To make that work. And the idea is try to stay top of mind. If you have one of the CRS instructors years ago said he had over 5,000 people in his system, you can't do that. It's not manageable, right? We don't need that many. You want a number that you can work with. And I'd say personally, anything over 1,000 today is probably going to be too much. In fact, I would probably try to limit that to about 500 when we're talking about your sphere of influence, people you're working with on a regular basis. So Thanksgiving, one of the other things with Thanksgiving that has not been mentioned that we've used is the pies. And I know some of you here have done that because I've seen some of the posts or comments about it. But with one of the companies we were with as a company, we sent out postcards to everybody, said, "Hey, we're going to do a Thanksgiving pie. Please give us a call and let us know which one of these 3 choices you would like to have. And you can pick them up the day before Thanksgiving." Well, so the card is a touch. They would call back. They would call us back and say, I want the apple pie or the pumpkin pie or whatever it was, right? So there's a second touch that you created off of one. So then when they come in to pick it up on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so you have 3 touches. And when they came in to pick it up, we actually had hors d'oeuvres and no alcohol. But we had hors d'oeuvres and punch and some drinks there for them, so they'd come in and pick their pie up. We had a designated time frame for them to come in to pick it up. I've seen it work that way, and I've also seen where the agents deliver them to the houses as well. That takes a little more coordination, and you're dealing with possibly a lot of people. So coming to the office makes it a little easier to work with. But you have 3 possible touches off of one holiday, and that's why I wanted to include this today, so we had this opportunity to talk about this and make it work for you. Are any of you going to be doing pies? Just anybody thought about that? No.
I am now.
A lot of times, like the year that we did it, we went to a private baker and had them make everything for us, which worked really well. I've looked at others. I've priced some out in San Benito. There's a lady that was going to make some for us, and again, we were looking at just top 50. That's it. type of deal. And at the last minute, she decided, you know, that's too many. I can't do that. And in the time frame that you want. But getting them out there is the key. So the first part of that is finding somebody that can do it for you and make it work. Anyone have anything else for Thanksgiving? Nope. All right. So let's tie in, and I know there's others, but I had two others I wanted to touch base on today. One of them was Christmas. It was mentioned earlier, and everybody celebrates it differently. I get that, but as an idea, and that's what we're looking for today. As an idea, one of the things we had done in the past was a first Christmas. So everybody that bought first Christmas in this house, everybody that bought a house throughout that year, everybody that bought a house from us throughout that year, or that we helped them buy, received a Christmas ornament that said first Christmas at, 1201 East Harrison or whatever it was, right? And whatever their home address was on it. And we put the address on some of them the first year we did it. And that was and I'm sharing that with you because that was a little more costly and time consuming to get, because you had to have the addresses, and we had them done by Vista Print. It was where we had those made. So the next year we just did our first Christmas and just left it. It makes it a lot. You just order bulk first Christmas ornaments, and made it a whole lot easier to work with for that. Anybody have any other ideas for Christmas for that time frame? Things you have planned? No?
I did hot cocoa one year. I walked Candy Cane Lane here in Corpus Christi and handed out hot cocoa marshmallow just to passersby.
Awesome. Love that. Love that. One of the other things that just came to mind when you and I'm not sure why I don't have anything written down to go with this today, so I was just hoping to generate ideas off of it. But one of the things that came to mind was there was a broker that I worked with where we had a pumpkin carving competition at his house, but it was for kids, right? So the adults brought the kids, got a table set up. The church that he associated with has pumpkins, they sell pumpkins in Harlingen. And so he had actually purchased a lot of these, and he had pumpkins all set up on the tables, like those long white tables you get for displays and stuff. And so the parents bring the kids, they have a pumpkin carving contest. Again, there was no alcohol at that type of deal, but there was all kinds of other food and drinks and etc. And little giveaways for them as well. Worked out really well. Something to think about. Or just giving away pumpkins. I've seen agents do that around the Thanksgiving or even Halloween timeframe where they agents have bought pumpkins. In fact, there's an agent out of San Antonio that had I don't know what the number was. I don't remember what the number was if they had shared that or not, but they had purchased a whole truckload of, like a U-Haul truck full of pumpkins, and went around. They set it up first where they come and get them, and if there's anybody that didn't show up that they knew, they went and just knocked on the door and did it like a pop by. I think Joe had mentioned that earlier, doing a pop by and just dropping off a pumpkin for you and your family prior to either Halloween or Thanksgiving, which works really well. Anybody else? Thoughts, ideas? We have a door prize for local school staff. Melissa, you guys are tied into those schools, aren't you?
We try.
Yeah, there's a lot of awesome contacts there with that too, though. A lot of that.
Yes, especially like at the beginning of the school year, we try to do door prizes and grab those new teachers that are kind of renting but might be looking to buy if they like it here. So we try to throw our name out there with the schools as much as possible.
Awesome. Appreciate that. And Carla put a note in the chat about setting up a pumpkin patch at the office and partnering with a photographer and offer photos, something of that nature. I've seen things like that done for other occasions. In fact, I think Yannette did one for Easter or something like that, where they did photos in the parking lot by the office, but or someplace like that. But yeah, that's a great idea. If you guys, anything you can do like that, that's going to give you marketing potential, right? And we're talking about the 33 touch. So if you're going to do something like that, you're going to get it all organized, but you're going to notify everybody in your system that you have it going on, right? And that they can attend. And what the benefit would be is obviously the photos, and photos of the kids work really well. Most of us in this group probably realize that. Bass Pro Shop makes it work really well during the holidays as well. So absolutely works. All right. Anybody have anything else for the holiday time period? Alex?
Hey, Mac.
Yes, sir.
So I don't have anything for the holiday, but just another sphere of influencing. Today, I'm actually serving as a guest speaker for Region 1. So I'm going to be talking to a bunch of high school seniors from all of the high schools throughout the Rio Grande Valley. I'm participating in a program called TIES, which is Together in Education We Succeed. And I'm just here to talk about different career paths and so forth with high school students. And just so you guys know, because since I did spend the last 16 years as an educator, I was the department head for the career and technology education. And one of the things that all schools do, right? Everybody has that same program. It's called CTE, Career and Technology Education. Every year, schools are always looking for mentors, right? And it doesn't take a whole lot of your time. Really, I think we met maybe 3 times a year, and that's it. But it's a really good thing. Number one, you actually do help students quite a bit. I know that a lot of the guest speakers that I brought in made a big impact on our students. And also just in the community, you get to meet, whenever we do meet, it's just a community member from every different industry out there. So it's definitely a very good way to network, very good way to get your name out there. Just look for any school, like whatever schools your kids are in, just talk to them and just tell them you want to serve in the advisory committee meeting for CTE. And I think they'll be happy to have you.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. The anything you can do with a school is going to be beneficial to you. Most of us tie it in with our kids as we work with them, but then when the kids, like in our case, kids gone, so haven't been in school in a while. But there's a lot of really good contacts there, and even when I was teaching, because I used to teach pre-licensing at Rivera High School for a couple years, and just that aspect of it, teachers would come by and ask questions about real estate and what's going on once they realized we were there and what we were doing. We were there every day for 2 years during the school years. But there's a lot that can be gained from all of this. You just have to decide what it is you want to do with it, and that's probably the biggest part of this. And reaching out when we talk about reaching out and touching someone with this 33 touch is just that, 33 times throughout the year. You can also go to, for those of you that haven't seen it, and I apologize for some of this because schedule's been kind of crazy, but we're fixing it. The Popeye Ideas is a popeyeideas.com is a website some of you may have seen in our core curriculum or the new agent training we used to have. Because I used to share that website a lot. It's a website we use. Because if you go, and I don't know the agent, but if you go to her website, what she actually has on there are things you can do for the different months to help generate ideas for you. Because Pop Buys is where you do nothing more than you stop by to give them a little something. And when we talk about Christmas, for example, one of the things that we have done, is we pop by with a roll of wrapping paper, some Scotch tape, and a bow on there, saying, I hope to help you get started wrapping up the season or something like that, some little tagline on there. And I pulled the tagline off of Popeye Ideas. We've done that for years. And again, we don't do that with everybody. We will, in fact, with that, we've done the top 25, the top 50. It just depends on what's going on and what our plan is, what our schedule looks like. But that works, right? The wrapping paper aspect that little. And if you go to their house, if you're dropping something off on a pop by, you're going by to give them a little something. And oh, by the way, who do you know that I should be talking to about real estate? Would be the phrase that you'd probably use. If you want to do that. If you're going to drop something off and they're not home, take a picture of it and text it to them. Send it to them. And let them know that, yeah, I just dropped this off on your porch. Just want to let you know that I was thinking about you. All right. Joe says the lender does it up in Corpus. Both her and the agent's card on it. Awesome. Good deal. And there's nothing wrong with using affiliates as long as they're good to go. Remember, everything you do is a reflection of not only you, but the office, your office, and RE/MAX as a whole. And we want to make sure that we keep it clean. The other thing, when we're talking about the holidays, there's so many different options. So when Carla mentioned the pumpkin patch, I've seen that with Santa Claus and different aspects there as well. And this is going to sound crazy for some of you, but it worked. When we were trying to find a way to get people to stop at an open house, it was right before Christmas, and we wanted to get this property on contract, and trying to think outside the box a little bit. It was a new agent that had come in. We were trying to help them get started with it. So what I did was I had an old Santa Claus outfit, and we had our youngest son put that on and stand out on the corner, handing out candy canes to people. Sounds kind of crazy, but we had a ton of traffic. And what they would do is they'd stop to get candy from him and stuff and get their picture taken with Santa Claus, because that's the other thing they were doing with it. He would tell them they had to go inside before they could do anything. They had to go inside and check in with his mom and dad, right? And for the open house. And when they come out, then they take the pictures and do the candy and all this good stuff. So, and it worked really well, actually. But it's off the wall. Do something different. Do something that other people will not do. And we want to work with that. Anybody have anything else there? Holidays. So the other one that I wanted to also share this morning is New Year's. So all of this, and this is why I put it on the schedule here, is all of this takes some planning. You're not going to just run out and make things happen. With New Year's coming up, we have the same type of thing. There's a variety of items you could use for marketing. For us, over the years, it's calendars work really well. What I would say is calendars work. Depends on what your perspective is and what you're trying to do with it. What are you trying to accomplish? So a calendar that has the monthly calendar on it and you tear it off and throw it away works. The old school calendars, I've seen agents hand those out. There's one in Harlingen a few years ago that had bought those old school ones. You know what I'm talking about, where the bottom of them fold up is usually like an insurance agent or something on it, right? In fact, I think that's one that's on theirs with them. And so the bottom folds up to hold it, and then you take it up and put it on the nail on the top or whatever, thumbtack. An agent had bought some of those and was giving them out to businesses. So they had them on their walls, and they're small mom and pop type businesses, which is that relationship building. So again, thinking outside of the box, try to do something different. We talk about our clients all the time, but what about the business side of that? And all of this can be tied in with the business side. All the small businesses, apartment complexes, the managers of the apartment complexes, the business strip malls, or the businesses where they have, like in Harlingen, for example, some of you, we have a 3-story building there in Harlingen where every office is a different business. And we used to hand out goodies to the manager there as well. Because did you have something, ma'am?
No.
Oh, okay. But calendars are a real big one to use. Magnetic calendars work really well. And in fact, speaking of magnets, Magnets USA is where we used to buy all this stuff when it came to magnets. But magnetic calendars work. And when you're talking about schools, magnetic rulers work really well. That was one of the things we used to give out as well at the school side. Magnetic rulers, not just the calendars. We go to the school side. So we're trying to reach out and touch them 33 times throughout the year, and we have a variety of ways of doing that. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. It could be Brian Buffini, when he talks about the pop buy, for example, you're popping by to give them something of value. That something of value could be something that says how to maintain their lawn. In fact, if you buy into his program, he'll provide little flyers with that. That's part of it. You get a monthly supply of the something of value. And it could be just a little flyer with something about real estate. It could be how to maintain your lawn. It could be what to look for this time of the year to maintain your home. Those types of things. All ideas that consumers would probably use, right? So without buying into his program, we still follow it. We can, right? Because you have pop buys where you're giving them something of value. You have note cards, right? Sending them a thinking of you or thank you, and you can tie that into several other programs. But thinking of you or thank you cards are really important and should be going out anyway. And we buy those at Note Card Cafe, so we get those at. And then of course you have the phone calls. So you have 33 ways of touching somebody within your system throughout the course of the year. And it could be a mailer. You can send something out. It could be your newsletter. It could be a phone call. It could be a pop by where you actually stop by and see them. And you want to stop by and see them, right? Because you don't want to just be the voice on the other end of that phone. You want to actually get in there and make that connection, personal connection. Any other thoughts, ideas? So for those of you that have not said a lot, do any of you have any plans whatsoever to do any kind of marketing over the holidays? Anybody? Those of you that have not said.
I do, Matt. I do. Our neighborhood, our HOA puts together a trick or treat event for our children. So then that's when I, give out, treats to the parents, and usually it's, perfume or cologne samples if I can get enough. If not, then just something for them, of course. And that's what I do for Halloween. For Thanksgiving, I do the same thing as the other agents, reach out to the clients and, just like thankful for you. And I'll deliver like maybe some small Thanksgiving cookies, with my brand on it.
Awesome. Love that. Yes, you are always, you have a lot of marketing ideas. And that's the reason part of this today was trying to generate some of those ideas so we could share them. Go ahead.
And then for Christmas, what I did last year was visited the South Texas Children's Hospital, and then I went to visit DHR. The children gave them, stocking stuffers. I went with Cynthia and an insurance agent dressed up, and then we went to Mission, the ER department. So remember, guys, they do work in different shifts. There's a morning shift and the evening shift that y'all can target. But I'm thinking now I'm going to target maybe the Edinburgh Fire Department and Police Department this year.
Awesome. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, and that's good one. I didn't even think about bringing that up because they're going to be there during the holidays, right? Everything that we've talked about, those like the fire, we've done the fire pizzas for the fire department before. But there's things there, there's people there that you could touch base with, and it's appreciated. Also wanted to go back one step. This time of the year, there's a in November there's a birthday, and if you know anybody who's a Marine, that birthday is pretty important to them. It's November the 10th, right? And I share that with you because again, there's a reason to reach out if you know anybody. Like I've shared in some of the classes, one of the things that we do is we have a Marine Corps flag, right? So we'll see people that are flying flags, and around Marine Corps birthday, which is November the 10th, if we see somebody flying a flag and it needs to be replaced 2 or 3 months beforehand, we'll go out and give those flags out. We'll catch them we'll see them, we'll make a note of it, so we make sure we have enough. And then around the 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that, we'll go around and actually give those out to the individuals, which is a way to touch base with them as well. So keep that in mind as well. And then you can always stop by the military recruiter office and drop off some goodies as well. Because they're out there, just like Alex was talking about in the schools, they're out in schools all the time. They know a ton of people in the community. That's one of the things that we were required to do, right? And that's actually where all this started out. But anyway, anybody have anything else?
Yes, real quick. There's also like the American Legion. I mean, go visit our vets
Yes.
there, a first, put $100 bill on the tab and, first beer's on me.
It's funny you say that. I was teaching a military relocation professional when I first started teaching. So I don't ask that question anymore. But when I first started teaching it, I'd say, if you want to find a veteran, where do you find him at? And some guy in the class goes, at the local bar. It's like, no, that's not the way we want to do this. But yeah, thanks, Terry. Love that idea. And again, there may be some connections made there that you don't have in your normal business, right? Do something different. And that's what you want to work with. Always look for something different. Anybody, Michelle, did I see you on mute? Did I see somebody? Sure.
Yes, I'm here. So what I did last year for Halloween was every year down here in Brownsville, they have it's kind of like a dog costume contest for Brownsville Animal Defense, and I've been volunteering with them for years. So they gave out goodie bags last year, and I just put like one of my business cards in each of the goodie bags, and it was like I think like 500 goodie bags or something like that. But I'm kind of planning on doing the same this year.
Okay.
So
right.
For Halloween. Yeah.
Okay. And so thanks for sharing that, Michelle. It may be may not be something we can put together this fast, but one of the agents out of San Antonio, I have it looks like an ice scooper, right? It's a plastic scoop, but the handle is a dog bone, and she's an animal lover, and she goes to dog shows and all that stuff, and that's her giveaway. The handle is branded with her name and her real estate company and all that stuff, but the handle is a dog bone, but it's a scoop. It's actually a food scoop for dog food. Is what it is. But good giveaway. Did Michelle Berry?
Hey, Mac.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Amber and I are actually doing Jeep and Fest this Saturday in Aransas Pass. And we got a vendor table set up, and I have koozies and some car scents coming because Jeepers like their Jeep smelling good, and they like to drink too. So that was the theory behind those two.
Cover both bases. That's good. It's awesome. Appreciate it.
And I also have us Jeep people, we duck each other. And so I have a bunch of rubber ducks, and I tied my business cards to their heads. And so if I see a Jeep, I will put a duck on their door handle and share my information with them.
Awesome. Love that. Something different. All right. Anybody else?
I have during Girl Scout cookie season, I had to put the little gift bag together with the peanut butter cookies and put a small thing of jelly in there and put your referrals or the peanut butter to my jelly, which was extremely effective. I actually gave one to Candy Cook because I was in class with her and she loved it. She was like, "This works, Joe." So that was really good because Girl Scout cookies are serious business here in Texas.
Absolutely. I've thrown that out before. We use the Thin Mints, supporting the Girl Scouts, and it also helps you market it. And there's a label on you can find it on Pinterest or Brian Buffini's, or if you can't find it, let me know. But because we have it's a label for Thin Mints. It goes right in with Brian Buffini's program with the Popeyes. It's really pretty good. Love it. You're not gonna what is it? Two birds with one stone kind of deal there. Anybody else?
Home year anniversaries.
Oh, yes, thanks. Wrapping up the end of the year, absolutely. Well, home year anniversary could be throughout the year, but again, if you're working, and that could be one of your touches, right? And we're looking at 33 touches, that could be one of those. Put that on there, right? The other thing is at the end of the year, and thanks for doing that, Terry. At the end of the year, you could also send out closing statements to all the individuals that sold property or individuals that may have bought property, especially sold because of the tax issues that they have with it, right? But maybe even on the buy side, but the sell side is what we used to use a lot. The other part of that is sending them an update, maybe January, end of the year, January timeframe, an update of what their property is worth in today's market. And again, that could be done on KV Core by sending them a market report, or you can pull it from RPR, but within KV Core it works really well as well. Awesome ideas. Got time for a couple more? Anybody? So, Melissa, are you still there?
I'm thinking about giving
Go ahead.
Starbucks gift card for the teachers at my kids' school.
All right. And Amber, have you looked into doing that? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna just put my business card on it and do like a $10 gift card for each teacher or
Okay.
each staff member, not just the teachers.
Okay. All right. Because and I have not done this in years, but Starbucks used to have a system where you could actually get the gift card personalized. So you didn't have to put the card with it. It was your business card. So it worked out pretty well. And when you're looking at doing some of these things and doing the giveaways, so if I'm just going to buy the card and hand it off to somebody and it's not personalized, again, you have to look at your rate of return. I want to give something out, but am I getting something back out of it in the long run? So usually you can buy things like that with a discount at Costco or Sam's. Like we buy gift cards at Sam's all the time for some of the restaurants, places that we might be able to give out. Anyone else? No. All right. Melissa, are you still there?
Yes.
Are we in a position to make an announcement about that new agent?
Yes, definitely. I believe he's on here.
He is. So for those of you that may not be aware, Cody is converting over to being an agent. Transitioning, I think, is the word that Melissa had used. Into being an agent. He's gonna be working out of the Brownsville office. Right, Cody? You there?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. So
yes, we're super excited. Cody's going to be joining our Brownsville office. So y'all make sure to send him those referrals to the Brownsville area. He's ready for them, right, Cody?
Bring him on.
Just not this morning. No. Yep, it's awesome when you see, and that happens in this business a lot of times. And those of you, even as you're growing and you're trying to develop your business, remember again, we want to try to, what you should be trying to do is growing your business under the umbrella of the broker so that you can expand. One of the things that we see a lot in the business is our clients become realtors and working with us. In fact, that used to be a really welcome to the dark side. Yeah. Love it. Our clients become realtors and end up being on a team with us. How it works. or any of the staff personnel we have end up becoming realtors and our competition. Yes. But yeah, it's a good deal. It's awesome. All right. Anyone else? So the last one I like to throw out, Gabino, I don't know if you're listening. Are you there? Gabino?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Good. Thanks. Because I have not shown it within the company in quite a while. Would you mind telling them about your spearmints? You know what I'm talking about?
The spearmints, I'm sorry. On the what?
On the, yeah, your what was the label you had on it? The jar with the mints in it.
Oh yeah, it was just a jar with different motivational quotes, different quotes, and it's something that we just did for, well, my wife and I, put together well, gave it to some of my clients and the ladies here at the office as just as an appreciation, and they keep it there in the jar with with the candy. So every now and then it lasts there for a long time because they have it there, so they pull out a little piece of paper, they enjoy the candy and read a little quote, and you stay top of mind.
Awesome. And it was just a mason jar with I think you had the green mints in there with the little scrolls, which were really cool.
Mhm.
Appreciate it, sir. All right. Anyone else? Once again, that website that I threw in there, I'm not trying to promote that, but that website that I threw in there, popeyeideas.com, is a great place to go to get ideas. And if you don't want to do that, I found that website because I was on Pinterest and I plugged in Pop Buys and Brian Buffini looking for ideas and things that we could do years ago to help grow our business. And that's where I found that website at. But Pop Buys work. When you're talking about 33 touch, you're supposed to reach out and touch everybody in your system 33 times throughout the year. You have to break that down. How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? So again, within KV Core, there's a lot of things you can do. So if I was to take 500 contacts and I'm supposed to touch these 500 contacts by phone, for example, once a quarter, then I might put a hashtag on them, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, that kind of thing, right? So you're reaching out and touching them once a year, and the hashtag helps you find them within your system. And the hashtag, when you put a contact in, you can create hashtags, so put some thought into it. Don't just see your britches type of thing. But the hashtag is on the left-hand side, and there's some that are there, but there's also a place where you create them for them. And use the hashtags to find people within your system. Works out really, really well. All right. Anybody, last call. Anybody have anything else? All right.
I can add something real quick.
Sure.
Instead of the hashtag, also, you can send out a mass text, a mass email, preferably just to use for the major holidays. So you can send it to all your contacts on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, things like that.
Awesome. Thanks. And you had a post about the app as well, Carla, right?
Yes. So I didn't realize that you can do pretty much all the things on the app, which is so much easier since most of us are mobile in our cars all the time.
Right. And everything ties together. And when I say it ties together, if I do it on the app, it shows up in my system. And you can do just about everything you do on your system on that app. It's a great, I think Alex had talked about it once before as well, or somebody had, about the sending out properties via the app. You can send them. I mean, if I get a notice, I can send it out now, so because they want that instant contact, I can send it out now. And when I get back to my desktop or laptop, whatever I'm using, everything is right there. It's all within the system for you. Works out great. Thanks, Carla. Appreciate it. And if you have not downloaded that app, please go into KV Core on the right-hand side is where you click on it and download the app, and you want to do it within KV Core, because if you go to the Play Store, as we had people at the very beginning, they were, instead of instead of following instructions, they went to the Play Store and downloaded the app there, and they're not connected, right? So you want to download it from within KV Core so that it's connected to your system, because you click on the box, it'll come up and say at the bottom it'll have text, so it'll text it to your phone. When it gets to your phone, you just open it up and boom, you're ready to go. Everything stays connected that way, which is what you want. All right, appreciate it. Let's go write some contracts. Yes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate the tips. Thank you, Mac.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Mac.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mac.
Thank you.
We got it.